Good morning, ladies. It's great to see
Hi.
you all. Most times when we hear how Jesus prayed, the reference is to either the Aramaic Lord's Prayer or the Sermon on the Mount, but which is the Beatitudes. But those are times when Jesus was sharing or teaching about prayer. And when Eric Butterworth in his book talks about how Jesus prayed, he talks about how Jesus always went apart. He went away to join with God in oneness, in the stillness, as we talked about before, and in oneness and in stillness. And that always brings me to the idea of peace be still. And Peace Be Still always reminds me of this wonderful chapel at Unity Village. That's this tiny little chapel that holds very few people. And on the wall are only the words, Peace Be Still. And I just love that. In John, we are told that Jesus went away, but the words that he spoke were not his words, they were the words that God spoke through him. And Eric Butterworth crystallized two sayings that he said resonate through all of Jesus's teachings. And you've heard both of these before. This the that God knows what you need before you know it, before you know it, God knows your needs. And that comes from the gospel writer Matthew, I believe. And in Luke is the other one. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, which I'm sure you've heard that before. This resonated with me because a lot of times we hear that we need to say this prayer so many times and whatever, but it's not the repetition that's the power of the prayer. It's our, and it's not the words even in the prayer, it's our truth aligned with the truth of God so that when we speak or act, it's with one voice. And so the words resonate with me that God speaks through us. And as that is like what Jesus said, those are the words that Jesus used for praying. So I thought I would share that with you. And who has a comment on it?
Well, I'll go. The peace be still. I love that. I haven't been in that chapel. I haven't been in the Unity Village.
Mm,
I do know that I learned some prayers when I first got into recovery and when I first started with Unity, which happened to be within a year of each other. Did actually joined a centering prayer group and as well as a weekly prayer group that did the rosary. So what I found was from those practices, I learned to be still. So had I just tried to jump into peace be still, I might not have made it. I don't know because I was born and had lived in so much chaos for so long, well into my 30s. So, the peace be still part of it, I might not have even have heard it properly at first. But because I had those more repetitive prayers and was able to get still inside myself in the centering prayer with Father Keating and stuff, really made a huge difference so that I could reach that peace be still, which is what I heard in Unity. And it is amazing to be still. And I actually learned how to live in silence, to actually be in a silent place. I've done 3-day retreats before where there is no talking. And to me, there's so much power in the silence. People, because I feel like I've caught up so much in life that I don't listen for that silence. So being still in it definitely connects me to God. I notice this really well when I go hiking or I go walking because I notice that I'm very quiet. Even though I'm moving, I actually stop talking. So it's like before I know it, I'm back in that repetition. I'm praying and I'm saying, this is the peace and this is what I'm listening for. And I get to the top of a mountain or wherever it is and I stop and I sit and I just let that energy flow into me. And it's very empowering. And I could not imagine. being up on top of one of the mountains, by yourself for that length of time, and getting that, and being so empowered, it would probably just be really overwhelming and just feel so loved. So yes, I totally connect with that. And like I said, my route to it might have been a little different, but I'm there. And thank you for letting me share.
Well, I'm kind of with you there, Becky, on peace be still. It's for me right now, it's concentrating on breathing. And I'm even practicing breathing in with the right nostril and out with the left several repetitive times to find that stillness in my body. And you had me thinking, I'm going to go out on the patio and just sit in nature this afternoon later, just to find the stillness in the breeze and in the beauty. And there's something very powerful about peace. And I think we're all looking for it. I definitely manage my life much better when I'm in a peaceful state, and try my best not to get pulled off. But boy, sometimes it happens. So it's with great gratitude that I find peace and being still quite rewarding. So thank you, Nancy, for sharing.
I'll share a little bit. I know that chapel, Nancy. It's beautiful. Of course, all of Unity Villages. And one of the wonderful things is you step onto the property and it feels prayerful. It's the energy. I get that in our sanctuary too. You walk in and it feels peaceful, and it just feels God filled, like, that's a word, but I don't have another word. It's just present, powerful, full. The Bible also tells us pray unceasingly. And through meditations and inspiration, I've come to understand that as truth. We pray unceasingly. Our little voice in our head that chatters at us as a prayer, the thoughts that we think, the resentments that we hold, the passions that fill us, all these things are prayers because we're never disconnected from God. So there isn't a time when we aren't connected and being there. For me, that small, still place comes when my thoughts are filled with God and peace. When my thoughts are peaceful, wherever I am, I'm in touch with that, which doesn't mean always, because my thoughts are, I'm human. But for the most part, I really try and stay there. And I very much try to remember every thought is a prayer, and be mindful of what I'm praying for. So I want to think the best possible outcomes. I want to think the best possible pathways. I want to release people from my life with love and gratitude, Thanks for being here. Bye. I want my thoughts to be full of peace, and it keeps me tapped in. And I do a lot of meditation breaks and a lot of prayer and just a lot of being with God. But I think that's a very good topic. And if we're ready, ladies, I would be honored to lead us out.
Thank you.
So let's just find that peaceful place and take a breath. God is here. We are here. We are God. As we breathe, let us remember that even when we face a challenge that we can't face alone, I can't, we know that God can. And together we will. I invite you to let that follow your breath. I can. God can. We will. And as we allow that to become our truth, we are joined in that oneness, in that peace. We can. When we step into our divinity, our Christ self, we are empowered, we are unfolded, and we are able. I invite you to take a breath and release and know your truth. As you come back to us and open your eyes, know how powerful we are. We are never alone. I invite you to like our video if you liked us. If you didn't like us, tell us why. We read every comment and you matter to us. Let us know you're there. If there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, write it in the comments. We read every comment. Subscribe, share us with your friends, and come back tomorrow for something completely different. God bless you.
Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.